Good morning. Thanks for joining me here on Good News Daily. I'm Pastor Brian Maples with Grace and Faith Bible Church, as well as Communicating Truth Incorporated. You can find that at brianmaples.org. You've got to understand that there's a difference between the Old Covenant, the Old Testament, and the New Testament, or the New Covenant. There is major differences. Today we're going to look at John chapter 3, and we'll start here at verse 29. John the Baptist was identified as the greatest Old Testament prophet. And I want you to hear, as the Christ, the Messiah, Jesus began to be revealed and it began to be told who he is. Here's what John the Baptist, the greatest Old Testament prophet, said as the Old Testament was kind of beginning to come to a close here. He who has the bride is the bridegroom. But the friend of the bridegroom who stands and hears him rejoices greatly because of the bridegroom's voice. Therefore this joy of mine is fulfilled. He must increase, but I must decrease. He who comes from above is above all. He who is of the earth is earthly, it speaks of the earth. He who comes from heaven is above all. And I'll stop right there. Jesus came and brought a new covenant. Jesus changed everything. He fulfilled the Old Covenant. Just like it says here as well that John the Baptist, the Old Testament prophet, the greatest one, his joy is fulfilled. This is a prophecy. This is John the Baptist confirming by the Spirit that Jesus fulfilled the Old Covenant. It's all fulfilled. Don't mix the two. That which is greater has come. Jesus has come. He is above all. He is the perfect image of God. Now, we can always look back into the Old Testament in light of the New Covenant and find types, shadows, signs, and we can hear things that God was speaking that we couldn't hear before. Just like when you like a certain type of car, you start to notice that car all over the place because now you're tuned in and you can see it. So when you look at the Old Testament, look at it in light of the New Testament. Your grace is sure, even though there's so much condemnation and bad things in the Old Testament happening. It's because the Messiah wasn't come yet. It's because sin was ruling. So thanks for joining me. brianmaples.org. Check us out. Appreciate it. Thanks for viewing every day. Subscribe to this and get this daily.